But until Call of Duty and some of these other multiplayer franchises get their shit together and get their fucking head out of their ass, I can't do it. I'm over multiplayer games. Until we can get some more logic back into this, I'm done. I can't. I'm here to play single player games, have a good time. I don't get a lot of time to game anymore because I fucking have a business and I also work full time. There is no room for gaming and to be pissed off. Like, I swear some of these teammates I got, they brand new. Like, this baby just spawned in, bro. Like, this baby just spawned in and he's on my team. Like, he can't even hold the controller big as he is.
These dudes are AFK on our team, and this is literally like 2 different people that are doing this again. That's bullshit. Like, how are you supposed to even, how is search and destroy playable if you got teammates that are constantly AFK, one of them already left? 2 of them's AFK. Center spawn. You're absolute dog shit.
Alright, so it's a 1v4 again. That's top frag. That's all of them. And just in time.
Yo, what's up, guys? It's Beast, back in another video. So, I wanted to make a point with this video. So, as you all know, if you play Call of Duty recently, or just any modern video games, it doesn't have to be necessarily an FPS, but just a lot of these games that come out nowadays, I think all of them have some form of skill-based matchmaking, right? And I've given this a lot of thought because we've basically been knowing about SBM. At least I have since 2012 with Black Ops 2. They did have SBM in the game, yes. It was significantly different than what it is now. And obviously they've tweaked it over the years. So, why am I talking about this again? I'm beating a dead horse. Well, I gave it a lot of thought. And I don't think anybody's really said why it's bad that hasn't been heard before. So, what I wanted to do was give you some other reasons and some stuff that you may not considered, and why I think SBM has truly been the greatest downfall of modern gaming, and especially multiplayer gaming. Obviously, it's the only time it affects multiplayer. It doesn't affect single player games that I know of, for obvious reasons. But imagine this. You have people that have certain time to allocate throughout their day to play said game. And when you think about it, there's a lot of people that have more time, such as people in school, even college, just people that are unemployed, which seems to be a lot of my opponents as of recent. Now, bear in mind, my stats is like a 2.3 KD. It's nothing insane, but it's pretty high. You're going to get opponents that know what they're doing. Essentially, I'm a Crimson player. What does that have to say? I mean, it doesn't really mean anything, but I've been playing Call of Duty for a while. Then, I know how to get down. But I also like to have fun in the game. And the biggest point of playing a video game is to have fun. You can be competitive too. That's why ranked is there. So, the biggest thing I wanted to argue about was there's a lot of players that now just intentionally go AFK, let their stats just get tanked, because SBM has a lot of things to get factored in. It has recent bias, it has long-term bias, it has party size bias, how many people's in your party, that can affect the types of enemies that you verse. It also depends on the different skill levels, what kind of game modes you play, where do you usually find yourself on the map, how often do you call in kill streaks, what kind of kill streaks you use. It takes every single thing you do in the game into consideration. And I would have to say that while that does sound good on paper, hey, you don't want people that are really bad to have a horrible time every single game. The misconception is that every player in the game is going to beat the absolute crap out of these guys, and that's simply not the case. Now, sometimes they do. There are players that are so new and they're just not good at the game, and they're going to get 20 deaths per 2 kills. And that's going to happen. But eventually they're going to get better, and they're going to start to sway those odds. Now, where SBM comes into play that does a lot of damage, it lowers the chance of those players seeing players like myself, or even streamers, YouTubers, things of that nature, right? And that's perfectly fine. A lot of these guys are monsters that, have like a 4 or 5 KD, whatever. The problem is, these players think that's the norm. Because you got to think the average casual, they don't really, a lot of them don't know about SBM. Now, some people do that are casuals, right? But they don't understand SBM. So they just kind of play the game, and they run random loadouts that aren't meta. They'll run unoptimized loadouts. They'll run like a bullet velocity barrel when the gun needs range, and stuff like that. They'll run a grip when the gun has no horizontal recoil. They'll run stuff like that.
And the point I'm trying to make is they will just kind of continue to use random stuff. And they will play against other people that use random stuff because of the matchmaking. They'll never see any variety there. But to the typical casual, I've talked to a lot of different variety of people that play like once a month, twice a month, you know what I mean? They may pick it up once a week. They say, man, I just get on, I hop on a little bit, I play, and then I take, care of my family and all that good stuff. They don't really think too much about the game. They just kind of like the idea of the game. And occasionally, if they can get a cool kill streak, they're happy. If they can get a helicopter, that's a big deal to them. And that's cool. Now, when they get lobbies that are very similar to theirs, it's probably kind of hard to get stuff like that, right? Like if you're a average player, like just straight up middle of the road, you can get your kill streaks. But if you're playing against people that are also your skill level, it's a lot harder for these guys to get a helicopter because the way they have it set up in the game, you die insanely fast. This is one of the most awkward TKs I've ever seen in a COD because it's not too fast, but it's also not slow enough, if that makes any sense. I know that sounds stupid. You would think, oh, well, wouldn't that be the sweet spot? Nope, that's the fucked up spot where it's not like Modern Warfare 3 where you can get away, you can run across, an open doorway, get shot a few times and shrug it off. But it's not like Modern Warfare 19 where your gun feels strong and you shot a dude 3 times with an AR at 10 feet of range and you killed him. It's the awkward 4 to 6 shot kills. And I know you're thinking, well, that's how a lot of CODs have been. Sort of, yes and no. There was stopping power on older CODs. You got to think a lot of the older CODs had peer-to-peer servers, where someone was a host. And so the lobbies and connection were a lot different. They're running on a constant online server now. And I just think that Activision has some of the cheapest and shittiest servers. It even plays worse than peer-to-peer does a lot of the times, at least from what I remember. And regardless of the connection, my connection is significantly worse when I didn't run an RB account. I like to test a lot of experiments and just run my own little science experiments and see what kind of lobbies I can find. So I have an account who has literally a .15 KD. It's awful. And the lobbies that you get, they're not like straight up wheelchair handicap motherfuckers, but dude, they miss. Like they outline you, it's insane. And the connections are crisp. It feels like you have stopping power on all your guns. So it just makes me wonder, where is the fun located in this? Because you've made a game for pretty much no one that even cares remotely anything about the game. It's just these guys that play the game a couple times a week at most. That's who it's made for. Okay, well, what about the super sweats? It's not really in their favor too, but they're going to play it because they don't have a life. Right? Like I was that guy. I played 15 hours a day. I used to. That's why I got so fucking good at the game. But now I'm not like that, right? Now they're going to continue to play the game. And they're going to like it even though they hate it. You know what I mean? It's something that they can't quit. It's an addiction. And some people that are super sweaty at the game do like the game, but they genuinely have a pretty rough time. Especially if they're not in a party. It's not a good experience. Now, I will say this. This matchmaking got insanely rug pulled. This gameplay that you're watching right here, this was right after the game launched. And the matchmaking was at a weird disdain where the first week was horrific. The second week, this is where I got this gameplay. The second week after the release of Black Ops 7. They had the matchmaking cranked up. They rug pulled the community. Everybody was crashing out. You had a couple people saying, no, you guys are just shit. No, that was when they were fucking with the matchmaking. They were absolutely adding insane amounts of SBM in the game, and they were injecting it in different lobbies to see how we felt. Clearly, everyone fucking hated it. But, you got people that try to gaslight you. Hey, maybe you just ain't as good as you were. You were probably in the protected lobbies. Again, brother, I don't think I was protected out of 2-3 KD. Probably not protected. Just going to go out on a limb. But anyways, I'll let your dumb ass decide if you have a room temp IQ or not. And what gets on my nerves is that they basically make it kind of political, right? Not in the sense of like American politics, but they make it where you get both groups that are arguing with each other and fighting over what's actually not the main issue. They either like, oh, you're shit, or you're too sweaty, whatever. The main issue is the lack of variety, because when they didn't have any algorithms fucking with the matchmaking, you got to see so many different players. You had a light team balancing, and that's kind of a joke because they say it's team balancing nowadays, and that's a fucking joke. Because I get people that I swear they are gnawing on drywall. Every single game I have to carry shitters. Just about. There are some games where I get really good players. It is so rare that I can actually count. Like, I can go back into theory mode, you can see like 30 or 40 past games. I can go watch all of them right now, and there's maybe 5 of a solid player on my team. So make that make sense. So you're telling me, out of all the lobbies I find, there's that many bad players in the game? Well, they're on my team. They're not on the other team. So where the fuck is the team balancing? I play solo quite a bit, but I've stopped as of recent because it's so fucking rage-inducing. And when you have so much SBM, there's no variety. You don't get the opportunity to use other off-meta guns or try to run some fun stuff and try to do well on it. You never really get that opportunity to. You will occasionally get these mercy lobbies where, yes, you will drop. Like in this gameplay, we let these guys get to 100 points in Dom. We knew the lobbies that we had, and they didn't back out the previous match because we were using random guns. But we said, hey, we want to try something funny, let them get to 100, and then literally we're going to 2-0 reverse sweep them and get 200 to whatever score they ended up at the end of the game. These are the types of lobbies I don't expect to see all the time because honestly, it was a 6-stack versus random. I mean, I don't know if they were in a stack or not. They got fucking steamrolled. Imagine if we didn't let them get 100 points in the beginning. How bad they would have got stomped if we would have spawn trapped them at one of the 2 locations. Would have been a wrap. But that being said, gaming is at a very bad critical state right now in multiplayer because you're thinking, okay, well, maybe it's just Call of Duty. No, it's in every single game. And it's not streaming either. I used to think that streamers were the problem because I used to dissect, hey, it's all the sweats now, okay? Well, if it's SBM, then it's probably the sweats fucking the game. No, because here's the thing. If SBM was not cranked like it is in these games, yes, there's a lot of people streaming more than ever. I don't know the percentage, but let's say you take a player base of a game, right? I would still bet everything that it makes up less than 25% of the community. Streaming is big, but when you take a consistent, sweaty streamer that's good at the game, plays all the time, and actually makes a commitment to the game, I guarantee you out of the whole community, it's less than 25% that are streamers. 1 in 4 games, you're going to run into some insane lobbies. And it may just be one fucking guy, statistically speaking. I don't know the numbers, but I can promise you, it is not what these guys are saying it is. So it's not the streamers. It is skill-based matchmaking that is single-handedly fucking destroying the multiplayer franchise of many games. It's a shame because I'm not asking to verse noobs. I don't want to verse these guys all the time. This isn't fun. Doing this shit all the time? Are you fucking kidding me? But dude, when I get a lobby like this now, I will beat the shit out of these players because I never will see this lobby again. I have not seen a lobby like this since the game released. And it's fucking ridiculous because I should at least get to see one now and then, but you never will. And the point being is that, with all that being said, they have a lot of work to do. But until Call of Duty and some of these other multiplayer franchises get their shit together and get their fucking head out of their ass, I can't do it. I'm over multiplayer games. Until we can get some more logic back into this, I'm done. I can't. I'm here to play single player games, have a good time. I don't get a lot of time to game anymore because I fucking have a business and I also work full time. There is no room for gaming and to be pissed off. It's supposed to be a stress reliever. And I'm fucking mad because there is so much more that they can offer. But they can't just get over that whole, they think that the data shows that player retention. I'm like, because the mega sweats and the streamers are trying to make it. That's why your retention's high, dude. They can't in their head afford to quit the game. I can because I don't give a fuck. I don't make no money off fucking gaming. But I'll be damned if I'm going to sit here and be pissed off every day when I play. And at the end of the day, it makes every match boring. When my stats are that high, and yes, you could just say make a new account. I did. Guess what? When I played with my buddies, I wasn't even not trying that hard. He has like a 3 KD on the new account because I know all the shit that you can use in the game to cheese. There's so much cheese in the game, and it's not even the game's fault, right? It's partially the game's fault because it's SBM in the game, but there's so much work that has to be done, and at its core, like I said, multiplayer gaming's in a lot of trouble. Any that have heavy SBM. I can take a little bit of SBM, dude. That's fine. I need the super new players protected because if they're really shit, sure. You know, someone that doesn't even barely hold a controller, You know, like a fucking newborn, bro. Like, I swear some of these teammates I got, they brand new. Like, this baby just spawned in, bro. Like, this baby just spawned in, and he's on my team. Like, he can't even hold the controller big as he is. So, like, it gives me a whole team of those motherfuckers running around. I know they're out there, but I don't ever get to shoot at them. They're always on my team shooting at me. I mean, Jesus Christ. Make it make sense, man. I just had to hop in here and rant because at the end of the day, I'm spitting facts. You can deny it all you want, but we've got to tone this SBM down in multiplayer. It's fucking making people pull their hair out. But anyways, you guys, of course, have an awesome day, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.